right? So can you just tell me what a grain line is? What a grain line is? Different types of grain lines. Different types of grain lines or grain line, what a grain line is basically. So we have been talking about, we have been repetitively using this term grain line from the beginning, right? Since we started the first chapter or second chapter, we have been using this term grain line continuously. And we have been talking about grain line when we discussed unit 2, and now we are discussing unit 4. What is meant by grain line? Sana. Just tell me, you don't have to give me the textbook definition or the definition that is available, that definition. You just don't have to give me that textbook definition or Google definition that is available out there. Just tell me whatever you understood from the term grain line. Okay, what you know. Just tell me that in your own words. Yes. You're not audible, Sana. Sana, you're not audible at all. Yes. Steffi.
Shows the direction of the fabric.
Yes, the direction in which we are supposed to keep, right? So the direction, that's basically the direction. So different direction, cross, diagonal, and straight, right? So Malavika, can you tell me what a straight grain is? If the grain line is a straight one, then how we are supposed to keep the pattern onto a fabric?
The center front should be parallel to the selvage.
Yes, very good. So Meghna. Yes, if the grain line is a diagonal one, then how are we supposed to keep the pattern?
We need to keep the pattern diagonally or bias diagonal.
Yes. Okay. So then Sharon. Sharon, are you there, Sharon? Yes, if the pattern is having a cross grain line, then how are we supposed to keep pattern on the fabric? How are we supposed to place the pattern? If the grain line is crosswise. Sharon. Okay, back to Sana. You can just put your answer on the chat, okay? Okay, Sharon. Just let me know through the chat, Sana, how you're supposed to keep the pattern on a piece of fabric. Okay. So diagonal, you're supposed to keep the pattern diagonally. When it comes to straight, you're supposed to keep the pattern in such a way that the center front is parallel to your selvage. So what about a cross grain line? So that is my question for you, Sana. Okay. The green line is drawn at the right angle to center front or across the garment. So the answer is I'm not getting whatever you are writing. The grain line is drawn at right angle to center front. So the grain line will be perpendicular to center front. So it will be drawn like that. When we place a pattern on the fabric, the center front should be perpendicular to the selvage. Okay, so that is how you're supposed to place the fabric. Okay, so I don't know whether you meant that or not. So it's saying right angle, so I guess that is what you meant. Okay, so the center front should be perpendicular to your selvage. Sana, you didn't tell me your answer. Okay, okay. So I want you guys to read your textbook really well. That is what I always say, and I want you to do the same. Okay, so now you know grain lines, how you're supposed to keep the pattern right. So you might have came across all those flared skirt. In the market, you might have seen the flared skirts, right? Which is tight fitting in the waist area and which is really flared at the bottom, right? So those are cut diagonally. Okay, those are cut diagonally. So some of those, anarchally suits which are not paneled, that is also cut diagonally. Okay. So based on the type, based on the style, based on the design, the grain line varies. Now we will be discussing about how to cut different types of fabric. So we learn different types of fabrics, right? We learn different types of fibers. We learned about different types of fabrics, like natural fabrics are there, synthetic fabrics are there, man-made fabrics are there, right? So we know all those things. So now what we are going to discuss is not anything related to these things. Okay. So fabrics, different types of fabrics, not the origin, but different aesthetic appearance of fabric. Based on the aesthetics or appearance of a fabric, now we are going to discuss how to cut these fabrics. Okay. So what Meghna is wearing today, it is having some kind of print, right? Yes. Meghna is wearing a white cute t-shirt which is a representation of jungle. Maybe there is a giraffe, elephant or something there on it. A tree is there, right? So there is a print on it. The same goes with Raina, right? It is also having some kind of print on it. Not able to see it properly, but it's having some kind of print, right, Raina? Yes. Whereas Steffi is wearing a t-shirt with some kind of visual texture on it, not the tactile one, not a print. It's just made that way, right? A visual texture is there on it. Yes, but there is one logo or two girls sitting right close to each other. I don't know why. I just feel it like that. So some kind of design is there on the chest region, the left side, on the left side, right? So Malavika, I don't know, from the top region, I guess it is a solid color, t-shirt or kurti, whatever it is. Okay. So when it comes to Sana, you can just see her hijab. Okay. Whereas what I'm wearing right now is a completely printed one. Okay. So you can just see a lot of patterns, right? Yes. So all these fabrics that we just talked about are really different from each other, right? Are really different from each other. So like the ones that is available out there. Different types of fabrics are available, different prints, different texture, not only just visual textures, tactile textures. Tactile means the one you can just touch and feel. Your hair, your face, the wall near you, your sofa, the bed, your table. All these things are having tactile textures. So we can just touch and feel. We can just tell, yes, this is having soft texture, right? Just like that. So tactile textured fabric. So can you just give me an example for such kind of fabric, apart from the ones, a textured fabric, okay? So velvet or velveteen, all these are examples, right? Fur, velvet. You might have come across velvet fabrics, right? Have you seen one? Have you ever seen one? Yes, velvet, you know. So it is kind of different from the one that you are wearing right now, is right? It kind of have this fibers protruding outside, this piles, right? Hmm? So it is kind of different from the normal cotton fabric. So just like that, different types of fabrics are there available in the market. When it comes to even Raina's t-shirt is a printed one, Meghna's t-shirt is a printed one, and what I'm wearing right now is also a printed one. But all these three fabrics are entirely different. The prints are entirely different from each other. Am I right? Yes. So when it comes to prints, if you just don't mind about the prints being coming upside down and all, then it's okay. But when it comes to industrial manufacturing, when it comes to a professional designing, then you should take care of all these factors. You're supposed to take care of all these factors, okay? So how can we take care of all these factors? So now we will be discussing about different types of fabric. I will be showing you a few examples and I will be explaining these things. Okay. So directional fabrics. So directional fabrics. So actually, I don't know whether, Meghna's t-shirt is a directional fabric or not. It's not actually. Okay. Because on some area I can just see upside down tree, elephant or hippopotamus, whatever it is. And there is upside down giraffe also. So it is supposed to be up straight, right? That print. The head should come at the top, right? But in some region, it is just upside down. So just consider that the fabric is just having similar prints where all the elephants, all the giraffes, all the trees just up straight. It's placed straight, up straight. The head is on the top, just like that. And we just decided to, stitch a shirt out of such a fabric. So I will just show you an example. Okay, so I will just show you an example here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here you can see one fabric swatch, right? Here. You can see one fabric swatch, right? So this is one fabric swatch. This is an example for directional fabric. Okay. Why is it an example for directional fabric? Any idea? Any idea why it is a directional fabric? So I will just give you an example. Now I'm going to cut two pieces. So here I placed my pattern like this. Okay. Here I placed my pattern like this. And I decided to place the next pattern like this. Okay. And I place the next pattern like this. What will happen when I join the two pieces together? What will happen when I join the two pieces together? What will happen when I join the right and left piece together? Here you can see the armhole or neckline, whatever you can define it as. It's on the top region, right? That's how I place the pattern. Whereas when it comes to the second pattern, the neckline or armhole, whatever it is on the bottom side, right? I just kept the pattern upside down. So what will happen when I join the two pieces together? Just analyze the print, whatever print is that there on that particular swatch, and just tell me what will happen when I join both the pieces together. One is left side front pattern and the other is right side front pattern. So what will happen when I join both together?
Ma'am, we can't see the pattern.
Sorry, dear,
Ma'am, we can't see the pattern.
you are not able to see it.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So just give me a second. Okay. Just is it visible? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now I will just draw the pattern on this. So this is an example for directional fabric. The center part, okay, the fish, the starfish, all this, the center part is an example for directional fabric. Okay. So now I'm going to place my front pattern, my right pattern and my left pattern on this piece of fabric. Okay. So this is my one pattern. Okay, so I just kept, this is my neckline, this is my armhole. So I just placed this on my fabric. And now I'm going to place my right side pattern on the same fabric. Okay, for cutting. Armhole, not armhole, neckline, armhole. I just kept my second pattern upside down. The first pattern is kept straight. Okay. And the right side pattern, I just kept it, placed it upside down. Okay. Just analyze the pattern of this particular fabric and just analyze the way I have kept the left side pattern and right side pattern on this piece of fabric. And let me know what will happen if we join the left side and right side together. Will there be any difference between both the side or will it be identical? Okay. So just let me know. Analyze this properly. The print, the way I place the pattern, analyze everything and let me know. Yes. Malaviga.
Yes, ma'am. It will be same.
It will be same. Okay. So what about Meghna?
Not anything, it will be almost same.
Okay. Sana? Sana? What about you, Sana? Not audible. Okay, it will be kind of same only, right? Hmm? So the right side, it will not be the exact same, but it will be kind of same only. Am I right? Yes, it will be kind of same only. Now I will show you another example. Okay. Now I'm going to show you another example. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. So I hope the screen is visible for you guys. I hope the pattern is visible. Is the pattern visible or should I change the color?
Can you please change the color?
Hmm?
Can you change the color?
Okay, dear. Now is it visible? This is the first, front pattern, and this one is also front. This is left side pattern, and this is right side pattern. And now let me know what will happen if we join the left side and right side pattern together. Just analyze the pattern there, that dog pattern that is there on the swatch. Analyze the way we place the pattern, the left and right. And tell me what will happen if we join left side pattern with right side pattern. Yes, Anna.
Ma'am, it will be different.
It will be different. What all difference will be there? Yes, tell me. We'll be having a different dog. Is it like that? What is the difference? The left pattern is having orange, blue, and red dogs, whereas in the right side pattern, it is blue, yellow. Is that the difference? What is the difference, Anna? Of course, the difference is that in the right side pattern, the dogs will be upside down. Whereas in the left side pattern, they will be straight. Right? That is the difference. That is the difference, right? So you should, so that is what you're supposed to take care of. So in a fabric, like one I'm wearing right now, it doesn't matter how we keep the pattern on this one. Okay. So yes, we should take care of the grain line. We should take care of the grain line. Like if the left side pattern is caught in a straight grain line, then you are supposed to cut it in the, you are supposed to cut the right side pattern also in the straight grain line. Okay, you're supposed to take care of the grain line, but it doesn't matter the direction, whichever direction, if the pattern is kept upside down or whether it is kept the straight, right way also, the design is gonna be same, just like what we saw with the first pattern or first swatch. The design will be just the same, right? But what about the second pattern? It kind of have a direction, right? So if we flip the pattern upside down, then it's gonna end up differently, right? It will look differently. The pattern will come upside down. The head will come on the bottom, at the bottom, right? The head will come at the bottom, which is not okay when it comes to garment manufacturing. That is a defect. If you end up constructing a whole bunch of garments like that, that whole bunch will be rejected and you will end up facing loss. Okay, so you are supposed to take care of such situation. So you're supposed to take care of these kind of situations. So what if the fabric is solid, a plain fabric? You're having a plain fabric, plain red, plain black, or just plain white fabric. Is there any problem like direction or anything there? No, right? Yes. So we can just cut it anyway, as we wish, as we want, right? You can just keep the pattern like this. You can keep the pattern like this. Doesn't matter. That's just gonna come out the right way, right? But the problem with these kind of printed fabric, whether it is directional or whether it is not directional, is that when it comes to printed fabric, you might have seen the right side of the fabric will be really dark. The print will be clearly visible, right? What about the wrong side or inner side of this printed fabrics? The print will not be that clear, right? It will be dull. Am I right? So of course, you are not allowed to keep the pattern or you are not allowed to flip the pattern upside down. Because when you join both the pieces together, the outside will come on the front. Then only you will be able to join the two pieces together. But as I said before, there will be no change in the first example. With the first swatch we saw, there will be no much change with the pattern or anything. It's just the wrong side will come on this side when we attach these two pieces together. So it is very important when it comes to directional fabric. Example, the second swatch, we saw the one with the dogs. It is a directional, it is an example for directional prints or directional fabric. So when we cut those kind of fabric, we should always make sure that all the patterns are kept in the right direction. Okay. The pattern should be kept in the right direction. Yes. So that is what directional fabric is all about. So what about napped fabrics? Napped. Example for napped fabric. Velvet. Velvet is an example for napped fabric, actually. It's having those piles or the fibers protruding out. Okay. So why should we take care or why should we be careful while cutting, a napped fabric like velvet? Why should we be careful? Can anyone tell me? Okay. So I just decided to comb my hair. Okay, so you all are having your hair, right? Yeah, you all have your hair. So this side, one side, okay, Meghna, one side you just decided to comb it backward. You just splitted it into two halves. Okay, You just splitted your hair into 2 halves, and then you decided you will comb your right side backwards, just like how you have done right now. Okay. You decided to comb the right half backward. And you decided to tie it into a ponytail. Okay. And you just decided to comb this side, that is your left side, sidewise. Okay, you just decided to comb your hair sideways and you just left it like that. So what is the difference between both your sides? The direction is different, right? One is lying sideways and the other one is swept backwards, right? So just like how we are having this hair on our head, we are having hair, right? Just like this. When it comes to velvet fabric, just like how this hair is being attached onto our head or scalp, whatever it is, just like that, these fibers, these small fibers are being attached onto this piece of fabric. Okay. It will be having a direction. Okay. So when you comb your one side, one half of your hair backwards, and when you comb one half of your hair sidewise, it looks different, right? It is not just similar. Just like that, when it comes to velvet fabrics or napped fabric, that particular fabric is having a direction. Okay. So sometimes that fiber or that hair will be attached from the right side. Okay, sometimes it will be attached to the left side. Just like how those hair, once these boys shave their hair, later the hair will start to grow again, right? So it will be just standing like spikes. Am I right? It will be all shiny. It will be like, so that's how basically a velvet fabric looks like. That's how a velvet fabric is basically looks like. If we look from this side, then it will kind of feel like, yeah, it's kind of a golden shiny. Okay, so if we just go to the left side and check, then it will kind of look like a violet or something. So it will be double shaded also. It will have a direction. Also, the shade will also differ. And these fibers will be attached onto this particular fabric in a particular direction. Okay. For all these fibers, if it is attached from right side, then everything will be facing to the right side. So if you cut the fabric in two directions or into just like how we just place the pattern onto that directional fabric, it will evidently show that you placed the pattern in a wrong way. Okay, just like I said, this velvet fabrics will be mostly will be double shaded. Okay, will be double shaded. It kind of have a lustrous appearance, right? It will be smooth. It is kind of shiny, right? It does have a lustrous appearance, and sometimes it is kind of double shaded. Am I right? So if you look from here, it kind of projects that golden shade. And if you look from this side, it will, if it is a violet velvet, then it kind of projects a violet shade. So what will happen if you cut this particular left side pattern straight? Okay, and the right side pattern upside down. What will happen? The left side of your garment will look like a velvety one, that violet kind of thing. But the right side of your garment will look all golden. Okay, so that is the thing. So when it comes to napped garment, it's kind of similar only with the directional fabric. You're supposed to keep the pattern carefully. Just because you just want to save your fabric. Yes, my velvet fabric is so expensive, so I should just carefully use it. I should reduce the fabric wastage maximum. So I will just keep this, adjust and keep this pattern like this. You're not supposed to do that. Okay. When it comes to printed fabrics, like the one I'm wearing right now, it's completely fine. You can just arrange your pattern in such a way that the fabric wastage is minimum. Okay. But when it comes to napped fabric and when it comes to directional fabric, the direction is very important. You are not allowed to just simply keep the pattern however you like. Okay. Okay. So that is the importance when it comes to directional fabric and napped fabric. And we will discuss the remaining on Thursday. We are having 2 other sessions on Thursday, right? So we will discuss the remaining portions on